Maximum attention. First of all, it is necessary to know that since the year 1962, on February 4th, between 2 and 3 in the afternoon, the age of Aquarius, the water bearer, began. There was an event that you will remember in your memories. I refer to that Congress of Worlds, of planets that met, precisely, in the constellation of the water bearer. It was truly a congestion of celestial transit, a meeting of worlds. There was an eclipse of the sun and the moon. For many years, we had been talking about such a cosmic event, and we had even given the exact time. We had judiciously asserted that such an occurrence would take place on February 4, 1962, between 2 and 3 in the afternoon. Which happened precisely. We had been saying the same thing for about 15 or 20 years. So when the event happened, when the occurrence arrived, none of the brothers of the international Gnostic movement were surprised. They only saw what had been said so long ago confirmed. A Congress of Worlds, such as it happened on that date and year, at that time, does not happen every day, but only when a new era begins. So, facts are facts, and we have to surrender to the facts. But that's not all. Since that date, something else is yet to happen. We already know that Aquarius is ruled by Saturn and Uranus, and that it is completely revolutionary. Saturn is allegorized in alchemy by the black raven, the return to the primordial, original chaos. As for Uranus, it is perfectly demonstrated that it is 100% rebellious, revolutionary, catastrophic. In this matter related to the stars, there are events, there are occurrences that are worth knowing. Much has been said about Alcyone, and this invites us to reflection. Once, in the higher worlds, I had the opportunity to extensively converse with him. Then I could see that he is indeed an adept of the Great White Brotherhood. He spoke a lot about Alcyone, and mentioned Krishnamurti, in some way relating it to that star. This is deeply significant. Alcyone is a quite interesting sun. Around that sun, there are many other suns orbiting. It has been said that the sun that illuminates us is the seventh sun orbiting Alcyone. Naturally, the scholars of official science will not admit it, but esotericists are aware of the reality of what that great sun signifies. There is a great game of worlds around Alcyone, 7 suns, and each of them illuminates, and gives life to the planets, and satellites that orbit in their respective orbits. We cannot deny that this sun that illuminates us has its group of worlds, which it illuminates and gives life to. When one understands the way in which systems of suns are organized, and how they orbit around their gravitational centers, one advances a lot in the realm of knowledge. The Pleiades have been mentioned in the sacred scriptures, the Bible, and many esoteric teachings. Alcyone is precisely the main sun of the Pleiades, and around it gravitate 7 suns, with our sun being the 7th that revolves around Alcyone. Each sun is the center of a solar system, and Alcyone is the center of 7 solar systems. This invites us to reflect a bit. Let us remember Saturn with its large rings of rock, meteoric sand, and rock, and so on, and so on. These rings are limited exclusively to Saturn. But it is good to know that Alcyone also has its own rings. These in themselves are larger than Saturn's rings, and unlike Saturn's rings, which are made of rock, meteoric stones, sand, and different materials, Alcyone's rings undoubtedly form a unique whole, and are radioactive. They are made up of radiations, but what kind of radiations am I referring to? Simply the radiations that result from the fractionation of electrons. Fractionated electrons release energy, a type of energy that some authors call monasic. This term is Sanskrit, and somehow relates to the lower or lower mind, or the higher or higher mind. The electrons release a type of unknown energy. If the intellectual animal, mistakenly called man, could disintegrate electrons as it disintegrates atoms, it would obviously be prepared to provoke a catastrophe that would not only affect the 3-dimensional part of Euclid, but even more, it would affect the Sapphirithic regions of Hod, or the world of emotions, or Netzach, the world of the mind, or perhaps even Tiferet, the world of natural causes. These regions would suffer great damage. If any madman from Earth could disintegrate the electron, they would have an energy different from what is derived from the fragmentation of atoms. Energy even more terrible than the energy of the H-bomb, or any other deadly element. Fortunately, scientists are still not able to fractionate the electron, and harness the energy locked within them. In Alcyone, there are cases where electrons are fractionated, destroyed. They release a type of unknown energy, different from cathode rays, X-rays, or N-rays. Back in 1974, 3 astronauts orbiting the Earth reported a type of radiation, or a type of unknown energy, unsuspected by official science. Obviously, since 1962, specifically since February 4 of that year, our planet Earth and, in general, the entire solar system, has been on the verge of entering the terrible rings of Alcyone.